And we are officially live. Hello to all my BC WrestlePod nerds out there. And welcome to the official first Elite Insight post show of 2026. That, of course, is your AEW pay per view review squad here at the BC WrestlePod. My name is Mikey. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod. I run the ones and twos, and I do a whole lot of things behind the scene, as well as a on camera personality. And I am joined tonight by my co-host, the one and only Benny, who is here. Oh my goodness, we have a lot to talk about. So AEW Revolution is what we are here to discuss, and boy howdy, there's a lot setting us up for the next couple of pay-per-views. Lord Almighty. So Benny, I'm happy to have you here because this is a long show, but we're gonna break it down as best as we can.
Indeed. First and foremost, greetings and salutations. Let's rock and roll. But man, it was a long show, but it didn't feel like it at all.
It was insane. And and shout out to Nick, who is our friend Nick over at the Nick Happy Hour Wrestling Podcast in the chat. Mikey, give us the live take. I will give you the live take as we go through this, but I'll give my brief, description before we begin a little bit here. But if you are brand new here to BC WrestlePod, of course, I'm going to make this intro spiel a little quick because we got a lot because we're covering 0 hour and we're talking about the main card. So we got 13 matches we got to get through. But Twitch, Kick, and YouTube is where you can see us go live pretty much almost every day of the week at this point. With YouTube also housing our edited reviews that go up the following day at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And I fixed the glitch with our editing program. So thank gosh that we figured it out because it was a struggle bus for a couple of edits last week and we barely got them out on time. But thank goodness we figured it out. But we also, if you're looking for something more self-contained, BC WrestlePod on the social medias is where you can find the previews of all the TV shows, the report cards for all the shows, pay-per-views, as well as clips and predictions and all sorts of fun stuff. So BC WrestlePod, your favorite social media site, follow us there. We got merch, BC WrestlePod, shop.fourthwall.com. Links have been posted earlier as the intro video was playing, so you can go into the chat and click those links. They are a lot of fun. And last but certainly not least, we have a coffee bot because we pay for a lot of streaming services, and we probably will be continuing to be paying for more. I'm going to investigate my AEW to see if we can save some costs out here. But until then, if you feel obligated or if you want to help support us and our wrestling habits, please do so, but no pressure because we know the economy is tough out here for everyone. And guys, we're all tired of being poor. We understand. But wrestling is what's going to get us through. And that is exactly what we're going to do. All right. So I'm done with the intro. Let's get into it. We got AEW Revolution first and foremost. I really dig the aesthetic and the color scheme that AEW and their graphics department decided to go with this year for Revolution. I love the cyberpunk neon dream that I don't know what to call it, but like neon cyberpunk is really, really good. Love the color scheme and fantastic stuff. So good job, graphics department. Alrighty, Benny. We got 3 matches on 0 hour, so let's just talk about this. But I'm gonna give my live takes. Um, the venue was a lot larger on the inside than I thought it was going to be. That was crazy of how big this arena was. So the Crypto Arena, for those of you who don't know, in Los Angeles is where the Lakers and the LA Kings, the hockey team, play. So this is converted into a basketball and a hockey stadium. So that's a lot of fun. It was insane. No, yeah, the graphics also kind of gave that Scarface-ness, Nick, so that was fun. The crowd was eclectic. The crowd was energized. I'll just say that Los Angeles and the West Coast, y'all know what you did. The amount of times that, F Don Callis and F Ice 2 was happening throughout the show was great. So my peoples are very proud. There's a lot of Spanish speaking, Spanish singing. Thunder Rosa out here just taking pictures of fans just randomly during the event in front of me was nuts to watch. It was a great time, and it was a great time for all to be had. So yeah, I'm gonna give you a bit, but I will say I did not realize the seats that I got were very close to the ring. We were on the floor, but when I picked them on the map for the tickets, I was like, oh, okay, we're in the back. Nowhere did it tell us that, oh yeah, you're towards the back, but you're still on the floor. I'm like, how the freak did that happen? I was like, we're right here. Holy crap. This is the second closest I've ever been to the ring. The closest I've ever been to the ring was literally second row from the railing when I went to the New Japan show last year for Resurgence. I was like, we got to see Zack Sabre Jr. in all his sweaty glory, like in 4K. It was crazy in person. So, and also I made my Mama Laguillo ended up becoming a fan of Zack Sabre Jr. by the end of the night, and she became a big fan of ELP and Takeshita and everybody on that show. So good on her, good on them. Alrighty,
Who who did
yeah.
she become a fan of on Sunday?
Well, she had prior experience because this is her third AEW show she went to. This is her first pay per view for AEW. This is my second AEW pay per view. The first one was Full Gear 2023 when we had the Swerve Hangman Texas Death Match. Um, their first encounter with that. And that was in the height of, Hangman burning Swerve's house down.
Oh man.
And so, yeah, that match was nuts. Watching Hangman like staple um, his child's artwork onto Swerve was crazy. Then we had the cinder block and tax, and then getting choked out by a chain. We're gonna talk about that more when we get to the main event too, because that came in as a repeat. And for the second time in a row, Hangman lost via getting choked out by a chain. So, but again, this is her third AEW show. To kind of run down the people she really enjoys, of course, her girl is Thunder Rosa, which I was like, down, love her, fantastic. Um, but she's also a big fan of the Outrunners because they were at the Collision 100 taping that we went to when they did the Dynamite 300 and Collision 100 double tapings leading into Y'all in Texas. So that was a lot of fun. She's a big fan of Kyle O'Reilly. She's a big fan of Will Ospreay because we got to see him and Kyle go at it for the international championship when Ospreay was still the champion at that time when they came to Palm Springs. Um, she loves how much of the shit MJF is because it's hilarious to watch. She's in love with the Young Bucks. She loves Mr. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. And of
She
course,
must have been happy last on Sunday. That's for sure.
Well, we'll talk about that. And then of course Mystico, I mean, hello, this is fantastic, but it was a lot of fun. Again, this was her first pay-per-view. She was tired, but she had a lot of fun. And so it was nice. And I'm like, can we keep Revolution in Los Angeles, Tony? Because like 2 years in a row, and y'all do the thing. But I don't work for Tony Khan, but I would love Revolution to stay in Los Angeles because LA does it right. Alrighty. Enough with the live takes. Let's get into 0 Hour because we do have a lot to talk about. So let's get into this. This is the match that I didn't really care for. This is the only match that I didn't really care for, and it went exactly how I did. Now, Wayne Brady, though, Wayne Brady and Shane Taylor was probably the highlight of this match for me. Also, Shane Taylor pushing down the Rizzler was also a moment for me. I was like, yes, Shane Taylor, you get one of these. You get one of those. Pushing down children. We love to see it.
We don't condone that here, but allegedly.
It is
Um,
professional wrestling. Like we condone pushing children sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
no, I mean here on BC WrestlePod, not there. They have lawyers. I digress. Yeah, I was still getting my taco bowl ready during this match, so I didn't see it.
You didn't miss much. It didn't go for that long. I will say that the LA crowd was not feeling boom and doom. They were feeling the infantry, and they booed when they lost.
The infantry is a team that is consistently over, right? Like they're over, like they're heels, yeah, but like they're but that pop that they got in the ECW arena when they won the trios titles Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god. I just wish they would feature better, but what are you gonna do?
I know. Tony, look, we're not saying we can book Ring of Honor, but like we would love to at least be given creative control for at least a month or two. Give us a pay-per-view cycle. Like we will help you write and book all the way leading into Super Card of Honor when you want that. So just saying. So
Yeah,
um
and if uh, QT Marshall asked us if you wanted to wrestle that night, I'd say no because I thought you weren't supposed you didn't want to be a wrestler when you came back.
I was like, sir, what are we doing? I will say though, QT, you are in shape, my guy. And I was just like, yes, we love goals. But yeah, no surprise. Big Boom AJ never loses when he's wrestling on these pay-per-views. So I was just like, that's a free point right there. So Boom and Dune win after some help from Wayne Brady, which is a crazy sentence to say. Um, but yeah, this was it was what it was. Los Angeles was behind the infantry and they were not happy that Boom and Doom won. But hey, what you gonna do? At least I got a point. We got points on predictions, so we're all good with that, I guess. Now this match, though, yes, Willow Nightingale and Lena Cross, when you were chopping the shit out of each other. Ooh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Speaking, because you were there, how was that slap from Willow?
Oh my god! As soon as she hit it, it reverbed across the stadium, and everyone's just like, "Oh, damn!" Listen, I know we know Willow to hit hard when she needs to, but
Hmm.
gosh dang, girl! Like I was like, "Ooh, Lena, I hope you." Ooh, that chest was red right afterwards. But let me set this up proper. So this is the TBS Championship. So champion Willow Nightingale defending her title against Lena Cross. And both women were pulling double duty that night because both of them would be joining their tag team partners later on the main card for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. But this was Willow and Lena getting it going one on one. This was a really fun showing from Lena. Like, I was like, I don't know too much about you. Let's see what you do, girl. And Lena, you a big bitch, and I love you. I was like, you are a big girl. Cause like standing next to Megan, I'm like, God damn, you both are tall. You are two big women, and I love you for it. But damn, this match was a lot more hard hitting than I thought it was going to be. I was entertained the whole entire time, and I was just like, I'm kind of mad and sad that this was not on the main card, but I understand why. Still not really, but it does set up nicely. I'll wait until the very end because this match was okay staying on the pre-show, but I think it should have ended. And we'll talk the pre-show, but we'll talk about that when we get there to kind of flow in because from the pacing is what my biggest criticism for the show was going to be. But we'll wait until the end of that. But yeah, Willow and Lena, girls hitting hard. Benny, what did you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I like that they, even though this was like the second match on the card, technically, for the night, that they technically protected both Willow and Lena because
Mm-hmm.
Willow made Lena look really good in this match, and she just caught her with a backslide, right? She just got caught. Sometimes it happens, you know. And then at the aftermath, when Lena and Megan beat Willow down, Willow has a reasons to complain later on when they lose the tag titles. We'll get there, but this was a fantastic match. Like this is how you debut a monster heel. You know, good stuff right here.
100%. So Willow would end up retaining the TBS championship, but then Lena and Megan would come out to beat her down. And then I was like, Harley, where are you? And then Harley finally came out, but I'm like, the damage is done. And I'm like, there it is. I was just like, I'm about to get this point on the main card. We're gonna get there when we get there, though. So, but but this match was a lot of fun. I was like, good job, Lena. You look good here. Willow, you are fantastic. Alrighty, last match on 0 Hour that bled into the start of the main card of Revolution. This match was a fucking car crash in the best way possible. Gosh dang. Like everyone and their mother hitting all the spots.
Mm.
I will tell you that we were all behind Jack Perry, but before he ended up winning this match, though, everybody was right behind Roosh. And I was just like, honestly, our peoples are in the building. So I was like, yep. And honestly, I'm like, I'm here for you, Roosh, pulling out the Mexican flag in your entrance and then going to the ring post and posing with the Mexican flag. I'm like, it's beautiful. But damn, this is a car crash of a match. Everyone and their mother was hitting spots. I do have a question though for you, Anthony. Why did you have Leo Rush shave his head? Now he looks like a gremlin and it's frightening.
I love the transition of Leo Rush. Like
I
Leo's
was
just
so
gonna
caught
do
off guard.
Leo.
Yeah.
Like, he's just gonna do Leo, you know? Like he's just gonna show up one day and just, have a bald head and new contacts. And you're like, what's happening here? He's like, I don't know, go with it. You're like, okay. But man, I cannot wait for that Leo Rush versus El Clone match eventually. If those two are just on a different planet, you know? I did
Yeah.
have some notes. Like the first one was Leo Rush is bald. Like, and Ricochet taking the bangarang from Dalton Castle. Like
Ooh.
he took he like oversold and did like 2 bumps on it. So great.
I will tell you though that the crowd was also behind Dalton and they were not happy when he got eliminated.
Mm, I would imagine so. Like that dastardly Danny Garcia stealing Commander's mask, and then immediately getting thrown over the top.
That was fantastic. But let me tell you though, when we get to the trios championship match, nobody got more heat with the disrespecting the luchador mask than Kyle Fletcher. We're gonna wait until we get there because I thought the place was about to burn down due to Kyle. I was like, whoa, Fletcher, whoa. but
I can imagine.
but I will say my MVPs this match personally, of course, were Leo Rush just running around causing havoc. That was fun. Dalton Castle's bangerang was highlight. El Clon out here doing the Lord's work and doing crazy stuff. Commander also doing crazy work for the limited time he got. My underdog of this whole match though was AR Fox doing great things in this match too. I was like, no, don't eliminate him.
Always AR Fox to just steal the show, man. It's just so great.
Tommaso Ciampa out here running around like a madman was fun to watch. Roosh beating bitches up was probably the highlight, and honestly, Roosh was probably my favorite in this match. I was just like, damn, Roosh, we got. Honestly, I was like, oh shit, Roosh made it to the final four. You know what? Because okay, so final four was Roosh, Klon, um, Jungle Jack Perry, and Ricochet. So I'm looking around. I was like, okay, somebody else. I'm like, I mean, we all picked Ricochet to retain. I was just like, okay, but apparently we were wrong. So we were off to a great start. But I was like, you know what? Of these three people in here, I would be okay with either three. My preference being Roosh, Perry, and then El Clon. But then Roosh got eliminated, and the crowd was mad. They're like, boo. And so then everyone's like rooting for Perry to win this thing because then the start of the show happens. Klon, Perry, and Ricochet are fighting as the pyro goes off to start the show. Then El Klon gets thrown over. So then we're down to Ricochet and Perry. We get a back and forth. And finally, Perry, after a month and a half of back and forth between him and Ricochet, he is finally able to get Ricochet over the top rope and eliminate him. So your winner and new AEW National Champion is Jungle Jack Perry. Also, the Lucha bus is the best thing. The Luchasaurus bus was really fun to watch him come in with Luchasaurus driving the bus. And the promo where he's going to take this bus on a national tour, I'm like, ooh, please do. Let's see you pop up in these like independent promotions around the states. Let's go.
Congrats.
Okay, moving on. So if you've been watching the AEW post shows for the last month or two, you know how some of us have our certain feelings about the presentation of Perry here. But hey, you know what? If this means that he actually gets to do more with it than Ricochet did, because I love Ricochet, but it's called the national championship. You barely went out and defended that thing across. You did it like twice or three times. So hopefully Perry will start popping up at like all these random ass shows. But you know what? Watching the Ricochet crash out online was kind of crazy to watch too.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
The crash
You
out was
know,
wild.
I think a lot of us have gotten the messaging of this belt a little bit off because it doesn't include independents. It's only the United companies against WWE. So it's like AEW, CMLL, uh, New Japan, and those kind of those type like MLP, right? Like those kind of things.
Yeah.
ROH, you know.
So, hey, but you know what? If that means that we could see Perry pop up in any of those companies, I mean, we did see Perry pop up in New Japan a couple of times before last year.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I'm here for this and I love it. This was a really fun match, which definitely was fun for like the 10 minutes that we got of this match on the main card too. It was like it was a car crash. It went really quickly. Like it did not, the whole match did not let up. There was no room to breathe, and everyone was just like, ooh, the energy was already crazy. So then, first of all, I also got to shout out this because now we're on the main card. Um, AEW, I don't know if this is just a me and I missed it before for the other ones, but you know, just like other companies, they are actually using licensed song. I mean, the money's not an issue, but we have actual theme songs for pay-per-views now, Tony. I've only been asking for this for years and we finally got it. So I don't know if they said anything for those of us at home, but in the arena, ever so often they would put up the graphic that the AEW Revolution theme song for tonight was Never Enough by the band Turnstile, which love Turnstile stuff. They're great. Um, but I was just like, damn, we got theme song money now. Let's go. And that's just and to me, this is the weird thing, right? I'm weird because I think pay-per-view should always have some sort of theme songs. Now, I get mad because depending on the company, I'm like, nobody wants to listen to this bitch ass country song. I'm sorry. I was like, or when we go, I love rock, but I was like, you had to pick that artist of all people. And I was just like, come on now. But I do appreciate it and I loved it. So I was like, that's just a small thing. And that was for me. I'm glad that we have theme songs. And I hope this is a consistent thing in 2026 AEW. Give me theme songs for all your pay-per-views. I am here for it. All right. Now that I
yeah.
got that, yeah, go for it. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I remember, like, back earlier on, like originals for the AEW pay per views, like the first Forbidden Door and stuff like that. So I'm here for it. That's all I was saying. I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. And that has been my tiny little TED talk. All right. Main card time because this was insane. They're like, all right, we're going to open up with this match. I'm like, damn, Tony, we're going to start with this one. Okay. So we got the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line. FTR defending the titles against the Young Bucks. First and foremost, the Young Bucks bringing out their children and getting like that special like yearbook-esque like pictures of them growing up and then being there when their kids were babies. And I was just sitting here and I'm just like, damn, they're about to lose in California. That's crazy, Tony. Because I have been trained. I was just like, if you get the special entrance, you're probably gonna lose this match. but that is okay. So the Young Bucks, they make their entrance. They bring out all the tiny bucks, their children. And I was just like, damn, there's a lot of them. Y'all been busy over the last couple of years. But I thought it was really, really cute. I was like, oh, this is adorable. Your dads are going to lose, but that's adorable.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked the entrance. Like, even like on the FTR side, like them coming out with the Celtics warm up jerseys.
That
Like,
was hilarious.
calling back to the first match, like because FTR were in Celtics gear and the Young Bucks were in Lakers gear. So
Yep.
like there was like this little nugget of an Easter egg, right?
For those of us who have been watching since day one.
I like the little things like that, you know, because like we're going on they're going on 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they have their own history that they can call back on now, which is really cool, you know.
It's really, really nice. So this match was baller. Like I knew the match was going to be so good, and then the fact so many false finishes. I'm like, I had a blast.
Uh, so most of the time, most of the FTR Young Buck matches, for those who don't know, have sort of been like on a whim, right? Like the first, not really on a whim, but like they haven't really had much build, right? Uh, and like the first one was like at the end of a tag tournament. The second one, like, was just on a random Dynamite, probably the best one. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, like the All In match was like they were both baby faces, so it just didn't work. And like, excuse me. Um, but this one like actually had a story to it, like that, like
Mm-hmm.
like they had a couple weeks of build, and man, did they deliver on this in this match? Like uh, early on, like they went for the DIY spot, right? And like and then like both like both Dax and Nick got busted open, so there was a lot of blood already in the night. Like this shit started. And like what was it like? What there was, as you said, like there's uh, uh, a lot of false finishes, right? Like Matt hitting the Matt doing the flip bump for the Meltzer driver. I was like, wait a minute, it's Matt. That's a two.
So
Like that
yeah.
avalanche shatter machine. Oh
Oh
my
my
god,
goodness. I
rant over. I was just like, I love these teams, so like I was just like, I'm just gonna gush. You know?
no 100%, and I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, this match was awesome. FTR do end up picking up the win here, which I was like makes sense because there's more story with these two being champs. And then I was sitting here with as the music is playing, I was like, I wonder who's gonna step up next to FTR now that the Bucks are and them are kind of done for right now. And then the lights go out, and I'm like, shit, here we go. I was like, what's about to go down? And
On
so
this
then
day,
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, first it's just like plain like the graphic hits. It's like Evenge and then Revenge with the rated R superstar R, and then yeah, you think you know me. I was like, oh shit, here we go. So Copeland comes out, and then of course Christian Cage's music hits. He comes in and I want to say hairspray. He's Cash, but that was hilarious. But yeah, Cope and Christian are back. it seems that they're going to be challenging the FTR next. It's probably going to be a match that's happening on Dynasty. But the Bucks and Cope and Christian kind of have a bit of a stare down. So I'm like, triple threat incoming, double or nothing. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I was like, well, that answers my question of who FTR is going to feud with for a little bit.
You know, there was a like I did get like a little hint that this may be happening. It's because Nick Wayne came back on ROH like 2 weeks ago. You know, so I was like, well, Christian's on his way back. You know, he's not going to be that far behind, and I'm great. I'm happy to. I'm so happy to see him. You know, Edge. I don't know. Cope, whatever. He's great. He's all right. I'm happy they're here. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh my goodness. Well, I was like, alrighty then. Well, this is how it's gonna go down. You know, it seems that we're probably gonna get FTR and Cope and Christian at Dynasty since we are in the Canadians' backyard. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this was a really fun opener match. And then we get into this one. I'm just not trying to bury the lead here, but I will like that is a new one even for me. And I love Tony and I've seen her do some crazy stuff. But winning per getting Liddy to titty, so to speak, was wild to watch. I was like, oh my gosh, she bit Marita's titty. All right, then. This is wrestling. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the ending and I love Tony. I still think Marina should have won this one. Tony wouldn't have lost anything putting Marina over. And then post match happened. We're gonna get to that, but this match was pretty deep. This match was pretty okay. Marina was in control of it for a good chunk of this match. Now, watching Marina take 3 hip attacks was crazy though to watch too. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Marina had a great showing in this match. Like, it's what we've been talking about since I got here, about how we want this Marina Shafir on TV, and we finally got it, and it was great. It was everything I ever wanted. And then
The way your face changed, because you already know. Listen, I don't want to talk about it as much as you do, but we have to be good and we have to be fair. Wrestling analysis, post show breakdowners, if you will, because we do got to talk about things that happen. We don't have to talk about it for long, but again, the match itself was fun. But yeah, Tony's leaving. Ronda Rousey gets into the ring. She challenges. She wants a match with Tony. Tony comes back in, pull apart brawl. Tony gets knocked the flip out. And that is how we end that sentence. Now, when I texted the group chat, I was just like, is that Ronda Rousey? Because I was getting food at this point. I also had to go to the bathroom real quick. So like the match ended, I was running to the bathroom, grabbing some food and with mama. And then at the same time, I'm like watching the TV at the bar that they have there while we wait for our food. And I'm like, is that Ronda Rousey? And that's when I texted the group chat. You're like, yep. I was like, oh boy.
Now the funny thing is, right as I saw her, I said the same thing. Oh boy.
So I don't want to get into it. Y'all can look up. Google is a thing that y'all can use. We're not, as people of a certain demographic and a certain just anything at this point, there is some irreparable damage that she has caused to certain groups and marginalized groups in general with her comments in the past. Now, do I believe that everyone deserves, to make do and try to do better? Absolutely. So I'm not going to be too hard on Rhonda. But Anthony, we have questions, and hopefully those questions will be answered because I'm hoping this was just a one-off appearance. And that's it. And listen, we didn't like it when she teamed up with Marina and ROH during that one episode of Honor Club, and we had feelings then. We have feelings about this now. So, Anthony, if this is just a one and done, like, okay, that's it. Still have questions as to why you would bring her on, especially given the fact that you employ a trans wrestler, who we love dearly. Nyla Rose is the girl. She is a girl's girl. We love Nyla on this channel. And hopefully, Anthony, you put her back on my television screen soon. But yeah, so I am not the biggest fan. And yeah, so that is all.
I only got like 2 points, maybe 3. But I'm going to make it quick. I'm not going to take up a bunch of time. We got a lot to get through. But like, if she's here for a short period of time, like if she's here for a run, right? I'll give it a shot, right? I'm not happy about it, but I'll give it a shot. If you put her under contract, if they put her under contract, we've seen what happens when Ronda clocks into work, right? Like, and no, none of us want that. And I understand why they did this, right? This is the Papa rating, okay? But are the people that are you're trying to attract the type of people you want at your shows, right? Like, you do you, man, but don't forget who your core demographic is, and protect the dolls.
Indeed. So that is all the time we will spend on this. So let's move on because, ooh, damn, I was very surprised. I was like, why is this match? I was like, this match is third. Okay, sit down, strap in, kids, because this is gonna be a slobber knocker, and a slobber knocker it was. This is for the AEW Continental Championship, no time limit. Champion Jon Moxley taking on the challenger and Konosuke Takeshita. This was a slobber knocker. Oh my gosh, this match ruled. This was great.
Man, what a great match this was. Like, and Takeshita with those exploder suplexes at the end, where, oh my god, mwah. I love the fact that, like, coming into this, right? Like, we all thought that, like, Mox is turning heel, Mox is turning face, rather. Excuse me. But Mox was the de facto heel in this one to make Takeshita the baby face, and by the end, he did a full one. Well, actually, no. Like, he was still the heel by the end, right? Like, so, like, what I mean is that, like, we were led to believe that Mox was turning. No, he's just being Mox the whole time, you know.
Yeah, this was an insane match. This was so good. And I was just like, I already knew it was. And I was just like, ooh, this is probably going to be one of my favorite matches of the card. But Moxley retains the Continental Champion. Takeshita didn't want to shake his hand afterwards, went through the rope, went back in. They ended up shaking hands and doing the bow. Moxley gets out of the ring, and then I'm like on my phone texting y'all, be like, ooh, that was a pretty good match. And then the lights went out again. I'm like, oh my God, AEW, like this is barely match 3, and we're already getting the third surprise. What are you about to show me? Guys, they played, first of all, AEW production budget money. I loved the cinematography. I was like, what in the Dragon Ball Z is this? I was because you had Will Ospreay in the cryo chamber, essentially, getting fixed up. Then this man steps out, hulks out green. The lights are green. Moxley and the Death Riders are watching the screen, and I'm just sitting here, and I was just like, oh yeah. I didn't think it was. I was just like, oh yeah, Will is coming back very soon. I was excited because I'm like, oh, this means that he's going to be coming back really, really soon. And then Elevated, y'all already know the first couple of notes of Elevated, and then I lost my absolute fucking mind. And then I started crying because Will Ospreay came back on the stage, and I'm like, oh my god, the Billy Goat is back. I was like, I was holding up the United Empire symbol, but my hands were shaking because I was losing my absolute shit, Benny. I was losing my mind. I love Will Ospreay so much, and I was crying because I was so excited that he was back.
Oh, same here. As I said before we got on here, like, does AEW have like a green warehouse that they're working on all these wrestlers in?
I was like, who
Like,
is this mad scientist they always employ?
yeah, right. Like they got back to tanks. They got they got adrenaline to pump into Luchasaurus. Like, but I digress. Um, this was great, man. Like, uh, I knew he was coming back sometime soon because they've been playing the vignettes, which, hey, we're getting vignettes now of people returning. That's nice. Um, I had a feeling it's going to be sometime tonight. I don't know why. It's just the way that they've been amping him up lately. Uh, but I didn't know it was going to be here. And Mox versus Osprey, yes, please. Like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, because Will has unfinished business with Mox and the Death Riders because they're the ones who took him out of action back at Forbidden Door in that cage match. So yeah, Will's a little mad, but it's an understatement. So Homeboy takes his shirt off and he does a mad dash to the ring and just hidden blades Moxley, fights off the Death Riders. Yeah, Osprey is back. The crowd was losing their mind. I was losing my mind. I was like, this is a great moment. But I'm like, damn, Tony, back to back to back, man. Like, you gotta let me breathe here, dude. And again, this is where I'll bring it up here because I don't want to talk about it too much later. But I really love this show, and I thought this is a really, really great show. But because we didn't space out these returns and surprises, I was just like, the first three matches, I was tired. I was tired at this point. I'm like, it's only the third match of the main card, and we still got 7 more matches to go, y'all. Like, whoo! I was tired, Benny. I was tired.
Sorry, was that me? Uh,
No,
I
I just
digress.
said I was tired. That's all I was saying. But yeah, Osprey's back. Moving on. I felt so bad for these girls. I was like, Tony, we don't learn our lesson. Why do you put the women's matches right after crazy shit goes down? I'm like, God damn it, Tony.
And now the women.
Now, I wasn't mad for the direction of how this match went because you are continuing to tell the story of what happened on Zero Hour with Megan and Lena beating up Willow, which caused a bit of, Willow not being 100% and still wanting to fight with, taped up arm and everything. And poor Harley, I love you, girl, but you knew you didn't stand a chance against Megan and Lena when Willow was not at 100%. So I did appreciate the storytelling. Also, this is where we got the debut that Megan and Lena are now known as the Divine Dominance. So we're getting a very fantasy Greek mythology up in this bitch, and I was here for it.
Yeah, I really like the name Divine Dominion. That is a really great name. Like, I was just gonna say, like, this match was really fun. Like, I really liked that. This is how you build a monster team. Like, you just you go out like it wasn't really a squash match, but you knew that there were Willow, the Babes of Wrath were not 100%. So they sort of steamrolled them and took the titles. Hell yeah! And Divine Dominion versus the Birds is gonna friggin' rule.
I'm just like, I swear that better be the Wembley match at All In. That's the Wembley match at All In. Please let Megan and Lena go on a monster run between now and then yeah, the Brawling Birds and Divine Dominion. I'm just like, ah. Anywho, but yeah, I felt so bad. I was just like, damn, Tony, you set these girls up. But honestly, very happy for Megan and Lena. Can't wait to see them just decimate the tag team division in AEW, just go on a tear. Like, can't wait. Good stuff. Good stuff. Speaking of good stuff, guys, this match is exactly what it needed to be. Swerve, we've been hitting the gym because the amount of times that we picked up Brody effortlessly was insane to watch. But damn, these two just decided to be like, let's hit each other as hard as we can. And that is exactly what it was. Plus, I got to see my baby daddy live in person, so I can die happy now.
One thing I really liked about this match was it showed how innovative Swerve is, right? Because this was an incredibly violent match that didn't have any blood. Like, because they were just finding different parts of the ringside area to punish each other with. And that was incredibly cool.
They got creative with how brutal their spots were, and this was so much fun to watch. And yeah, this is just brutality. This was fun. Swerve does win. So after the match, Swerve continues to beat up on Brody. You know, we're about to see a Swerve stomp into Brody's head through a concrete block. And then who should return, Benny, but a Mr. Battle Cry, one winged angel himself. Kenneth Omega is back. I'm like, Kenny is back from doing, you know, the Fatal Fury stuff in Japan. So him and Swerve have some unfinished business. And as soon as Kenny's music started playing, I just sat my butt down. I was just like, take my money, Tony. Like, I can't no more. I was just like, what else do you have in store for me? Because I'm just like, I can't. I was just like, but like in the best way possible. I'm like, I can't, Tony. Like, what are we doing? I am too spoiled right now. I'm tired. Like, what else are you gonna give me tonight?
Yeah, it was certainly this night was certainly an embarrassment of riches. Like,
I was just like, I don't know what to do with all of this. Like, a wrestling company actually giving me legit surprises and treating me well as a wrestling fan. What is this?
I know, right? Like, uh, you know, with Kenny returning, like, at least he didn't get carted out that last time. You know, he didn't get onto a stretcher.
I
But
was just like,
him and Swerve at the next pay per view is going to rule. Oh my god! If that's what we got on Dynamite, imagine
I
them
don't.
going
You're right.
without commercial breaks.
Seriously. Dynasty is coming up, so who knows? We might have them fight at Dynasty. And then I'm also looking past that too. I was like, you can give me free pay-per-view quality matches on my television screen because we got the Owen Hart coming up very soon too. If they do the Owen Hart like they did last year, where we are leading it into double or nothing, I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, the amount of contenders you could put in that Owen Hart for a chance at that title. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Kenny, I'm glad you're back. Him and Swerve are going to beat each other up. It's going to be fantastic. Give me another match of the year contender because your Dynamite match was awesome.
Question:
What's up?
Did you get to sing Battle Cry?
Yes, I was singing my little heart out. My voice was gone by the end of the night.
Oh, I can imagine. You're like
So
calling in sick.
my voice was already bad enough after I sang Elevated. And then I was singing Battle Cry. But yeah. All right, let's get into this. So 2 out of 3 falls for the AEW Women's World Championship. Hekla versus Chris Statlander. I was very proud of this match. They both did really good. This is a really solid bout because I was like, I don't know how I feel about 2 out of 3 falls. That first fall though, I kind of did like it because Tekla got a little too cocky, and Chris Stat Daddy was just like, "Don't play with me. I told you on Collision, you gonna have to make sure you keep me down because bitch, I am not here to play. I want this title back." And so it was kind of fun in that first fall to watch Tekla get a little cocky, and then Chris like literally just be like, "Try me." So the first fall was really fun to watch Chris just be like, "Try me," and just bully Tekla during the first fall. Oh god, I was just like, see, this is the direction of Chris I would like to see like going forward. Just like out here just being meaty woman and just fighting girls. Like that'd be great. So, and because of that arrogance, Tekla loses the first fall to Chris. So Chris is 1-0 at this point. And then Tekla's like, all right, time to go to work. And so she gets serious. Um, and she ends up getting the second fall. And then in the third fall, we have a ref bump. Tekla is taking off the ref's belt, which was fucking hilarious to watch. Like she is literally kicking this poor man as he's taking off his belt. Goes in to try to beat up Chris. Chris then beats up Tekla with said belts. The Sisters of Sin are here. The ref takes the belt from Chris. Like Tekla ends up getting the second fall and winning this match. This was really fun. I was like, I was very pleasantly surprised, and I was like, this is pretty good. I wasn't too sure how I was gonna feel about this match at the end of it, but you know what? The 2 out of 3 falls didn't disappoint me. So I was like, this is a pretty solid match. I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, that was a star making entrance. I'm gonna be right back. I'm sorry.
That is okay. So now it was crazy. What Tekla's like Chris's entrance was really cool. Tekla's entrance with her, the video about with her and the photos of Chris and their past encounters. That was really, really good. That was so much fun. I had a blast with that one, honestly. And just Tekla's music was killing it, and I loved it. So I had a good time with all of that. But yeah, Tekla is still the AEW Women's World Champion. I don't know what's next for Tekla. I'm very curious to see who is next to face her because we talked about this last week on our show here for the All Elite Ensemble. It seems that at least we think in our head that the ultimate plan is Mercedes coming for that title when she comes back. But I don't want her to win the Owen again because she won last year and got her match at Y'all in Texas to take on Tony. So I would not want Mercedes to win the Owen again. But yeah. So yeah. Tekla wanting to fight Chris after the match though was funny, and Julia Sky had to hold her back was funny to watch.
What a great match! Like they really nailed it on this one. Like I don't know why, but like 2 out of 3 falls is probably like one of my favorite stipulations because it means it's gonna get time. So
Honestly, and they gave it time, and I was like, thank gosh, Tony.
this was honestly one of my matches of the year so far. I really liked it. Chris Statlander is just improving every single time out, and Thekla is just like she just fits like a glove here. Like she's just so great. Like I hate making comparisons, right? Because it's sometimes they can get a little uncreative, right? Like a lot of wrestling fans would be like, "Well, this person is like that person." It's like, no, not really. But uh, so it's not a direct 1-to-1, but like Tekla, I see a lot of Luna Vachon in her intensity, and uh, that's exactly what this division needs is Luna.
I agree. I really love this match. This is fairly solid from both of them. And I am interested to see who is going to be coming after Tekla next. Um, we'll see if she has a match at Dynasty, but you know what? I'm not mad at it. So I'm here for this run that Tekla's going on. So I think I can officially say, and Anthony Khan, I'm hoping you're listening, we can separate Tekla and Stat Daddy for a little bit. I think we have kind of put it close to this feud for now. So please, let's move on to the next chapter of Tekla's reign.
I'd like to petition that Queen Aminata should be the next one up.
Oh my gosh, yes. If Queen is ready and she is cleared, we still got unfinished business there. So let's put Tekla and Aminata together because Aminata was supposed to be in Blood and Guts too. She was supposed to be in that match, but because she wasn't cleared, we didn't. Mina was put in for her, which is unfortunate, but not unfortunate because Mina did great. She was fantastic. But yeah, Queen versus Tekla. Book it, Tony. All right, let's go. We still got a couple matches in. This is exactly what it was. This was a fun ass trios championship match through and through. So this is the Don Callis family being represented by Aussie Open, Aussie, oi, 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 Kyle Fletcher, and Dungzilla, and baby daddy number 2 for me, Mark Davis. Teaming up with the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada, and they were taking on the team of Jet Speed, so Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, and they were being teamed up with CMLL star and CMLL middleweight champion Mystico. First of all, love that Kevin Knight, Jet Speed, and Mystico came out with matching gear, and I was just like, claps. Even thrown together trios coming out with matching gear. Then I'm looking at the Don Callis family. I'm like, God damn it, you guys! It was not that hard for you to at least get one color scheme going on. So that is my first note. So I was just like, looking back at it, I was like, okay, they're in matching gear, so they might actually have a shot at this. This match was balls to the wall, insane, intense, and fast paced. And again, this was another match where I did not have time to breathe. A couple of highlights for me. Kyle Fletcher getting massive heat by rubbing the mask on his junk. Got huge boos in the arena, which then also resulted in the crowd calling Kyle Fletcher a culero. And then him yelling at the audience, telling us, like, I don't know what that means. So that was fantastic. Mystico doing Mystico things was really fun. It popped the crowd. Also, Los Angeles is the place to do the theme song, Tony, because at Y'all In, that Texas crowd did not get the memo. And so that Y'all In crowd was not it. But let me tell you, California, we're going to do right by our luchadors. That is exactly what we did. That whole arena was freaking singing Mystico songs. So that was another thing. MVP of this match for me, though, Dungzilla. To me, Mark Davis was working on like 5 more gears than I'm used to him seeing, and I loved it. And I felt like somebody told him that if he did not do good in this match, he was going to be taken off TV. So Mark Davis is like, fuck this. We're going to prove why it should be on TV every week. Because Mark Davis was my MVP this match, and it was insane. But then the biggest shock of all, Benny, Jet Speed and Mystico are the new champs. And I was just like, oh my God, I am pleasantly surprised. Good job, Tony, for actually surprising me. This match ruled. What did you think?
Yeah, this match ruled. Like, what I like to call Jet Set Mystico came out with matching gear, and I love that. Kevin Knight and Okada doing the drop kick spot, like, I think there was one point, like, because I think it was like the last match, or maybe the match before that, Bryan Danielson came out on commentary, right? And it was like was like, Danielson, where'd you come from? Then they switched out announcers like during one of those blackouts, you know. And Danielson just took out Nigel during one of those
Seriously.
blackouts.
So I
But
was just
like,
like crazy.
I did like the uh, the Ashikata, um, you know, the Letterman jackets. Like it was like and towels. Like it was like a throwback to
I
Aussie
love
Open,
that
you know?
too, man.
And what was it like? Kevin Knight jumping over Mystico and Fletcher, like as Mystico had Fletcher in like the armbar, and like Knight like flies like halfway across the ring and like changes direction halfway through. Man, that guy's amazing. He's so ready.
So this match was awesome. Everybody was hitting it on all cylinders. And yeah, again, pleasantly surprised Mystico and Jet Speed won. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm kind of surprised that we took the titles off of the Don Callis family 2 weeks after they got it. So I'm like, if we get a rematch, I'm cool with it, and we'll probably get a rematch at some point. But then it all made sense because without warning, as Jet Speed is celebrating with Mystico, and they are putting him on the shoulders to kind of like go from side to side of the ring, so the whole crowd to like the four sides of the ring. This graphic just happens to pop up on the Titantron, and which I'm assuming is probably similar to Mascara Dorada and Persephone and Echiseto, probably a dual contract. So they are still with CMLL, but they are also getting paid to appear on AEW more. Now, the whole crowd was cheering for this, right? But I'm going to show you this picture, especially that bottom one. That is the moment that Jet Speed turned Mystico around when that graphic popped up. And literally, this man gets off of their shoulders and starts having a full on cry in the middle of this ring. You could tell that Mystico breathes lucha libre and breathes wrestling. And this means a lot to him. So to see this grown ass man have a full cry in the middle of this ring with that graphic, so that tells me that Tony didn't tell him that this was happening. So to me, this was such a beautiful and genuine reaction. And again, the whole crowd was losing their absolute mind and just giving Mystico his flowers. And then I I will say I cried a little bit too during this as well because I was so happy. And to watch Mystico just take it all in, I'm like, God damn this, man. I was just like, ugh. This is why I love professional wrestling, damn it.
Exactly. Same here. Like, and I get it why he's crying because, like, you know, uh, he's a made man all around the world, and America was the one place where he had a shot, and it didn't work out. And then he became one of the biggest names in lucha history, and here he is on American TV doing what he does best. Good for him, man. I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. Good for him, man.
Well, exactly. Again, this is a beautiful story again because, without going into too much detail, he was here in the States. He was in another company, didn't work out for him. Then he took on the Mystico character, made it in Mexico, then Japan, and all over the world, and becoming part of the annals of lucha libre history. And then to come back here and now get a second shot here in AEW, I was just like, God damn, we love a good redemption story. And I was crying my eyes out. So Tony Khan, I was tired, but I was crying my eyes out. I'm like, take my fucking money, Tony. You just took all my energy and my emotions this night. But in all seriousness, I like this crowd was awesome. They made me feel great. And I was just like, I love professional wrestling, and this is what it's about, y'all. Damn. So because of this, that means we're going to see Mystico pop up in AEW a lot more too. So I'm excited about that. So I was just like, I'm not even gonna get into the dream matches because Mystico versus anybody on this men's roster is an automatic like yes for me.
Exactly. Mystico versus Kenny versus
Everyone just
Andrade, like everybody.
fight
Just give me
everyone.
just line them up.
Seriously. So here for all of this. So here for all of this. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Beautiful moment. Cried like a little baby. Was happy. All right, let's keep this going. First of all, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would pop so hard with a wrestling crowd like yelling, "Please take your pants off." The first 5 minute, no, the first 7 minutes, the first 5 minutes of this match, Benny, I was dying. I was cackling in my seat because we all know, and we made a joke here of lots of times with Andrade where he's always taking off his wrestling pants in the middle of the match. And so they were teasing each other. Everybody was like, take your pants off. Andrade was playing with it. And then he's like, no, no. And then all of a sudden, Bandito just rips his fucking pants off. We were struggling to get it off towards the tail end of that. So Andrade's like, okay, I'm going to give you some time. Let me just punch you to the ground. But I'm like, damn, Bandito, we just be taking our pants off. He's wearing the wrestling shorts. I'm like, don't see that every day. And then Andrade just gives us a strip tease because then he takes his pants off. And I'm just like, I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, in my head, I was just like, well, goddamn. And then somebody like a couple rows ahead of us was, being like, oh my God, you are highly blessed and favored. And I was just like, damn. Because I was like, as soon as he took it off to put on the wrestling trunks, Andrade, I was just like, you are the telenovela villain. You out here, you wrestle and take pictures, and you are blessed and highly favored in that area. I'm like, God damn. Anyways, so with my intrusive thoughts now out of the way, once that happened, it was crazy. And I'm just like, Bandito. That 21 plex when Andrade was just straight up on the ground. Oh my God. I was like, holy hell. I was like, I don't know, man. Bandito and Andrade are about to be fighting for, again, my Wrestlers 2026 if anything changes. But I was like, this match is already my match of the year contender. It's on the list. Holy hell, this match ruled. What'd you think, Benny?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think when we all saw the graphic, we're like, oh, this is just a match of the year candidate, And then it lived up to the hype because how couldn't it? Because it's these two. Like, I love the Super Dragon gear by Bandito, shouting out PWG legend Super Dragon.
That for us wrestling nerds, that popped me so hard.
Yeah, that one was for us. He's very much an indie wrestler, like indie legend. But like, I just said, like the short tights. Yeah, you don't see those enough. It's a pretty cool look. But like, getting into the match, like one thing I thought was really funny was Aubrey. Uh, she kept getting picked up by the cameras, like yelling at Bandito, like come on, get inside, but like she's saying in Spanish.
Right. I love Aubrey so much, but because of how fast these two were moving, I was like, ooh, girl, you better get out the way because she almost got caught up a couple of times. I'm like, ref down, ref down. So
Yeah.
actually, shout out to this comment because it also is kind of true. It's just like your match of the year until Billy Goat wrestles. I'm like, you're right. When Will Ospreay's back in this ring, and when he starts having these feuds out here, I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. My AEW match of the year contenders are probably gonna end up being Andrade, Bandito, and Will Ospreay matches. Not even gonna lie, but that goes to show you how crazy this AEW men's roster is. Because I'm like, there are so many potential match of the years and dream matches that you could possibly have. Like, so good, so good. But yeah, Bandito and Andrade, man, damn, they threw down and one of my favorite
Yeah,
matches of the card.
this match was absolutely fantastic. Like, one thing I love about Andrade, because like I already gushed about Bandito, but like, I'll make it quick. But like, Andrade, um, he when he was La Sombra, like he was known as a luchador, right? Obviously, so like a traditional luchador, being that like being a high flyer and all that. That's where like that moonsault where he misses and then still hits it comes in. Like, uh, but recently he's like put on so much weight, so he had to like change up his style, and now he's like these. Can we get a best of seven? Is what I'm really trying to get around to. Like, can we just get a best of seven? Because these two are like so perfectly matched. Like,
This match rolled between Andrade and Bandito, and I loved every single moment of it. This is definitely going to be on my match. This is on my short list. I'm going to have to revisit this at the end of the year to see what ends up being my match of the year. But I will say that it is going to end up on matches to watch for March of 2026 for sure. Damn, and just from this, oh my goodness, we're barely into like the middle of March, and I already have so many matches to put on for March matches to watch 2026. Like from all the shows that me and you have covered so far. Like, gosh dang, man. But this was so good. All right, we got two matches left, so let's just get into this. So, semi-main event. This is the Tornado Trios Tag Team match. This is you have the dogs, so Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors, and David Finlay. Really do like the presentation of what we are giving them with their entrance. Like, it's fun to watch. Like, when we got to see, the backstage stuff, like leading into Revolution was a lot of fun with these two. And then they are taking on the team of what I would like to dub as my two divorced dads with their emo son, Darby. This is such a little dysfunctional family. I love it. But you have Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, and Darby Allin teaming up. And I could summarize this match as please help Darby clap, 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 because that is what we were chanting as Darby was tied up in the corner for the majority of this match by his dog collar, which was nuts to watch. And then Darby's just out here doing Darby things, like taking the nastiest bumps and jumping off of everything possible. So nuts. And then Roddy going ham. Roddy going ham.
good old Roderick Strong, man. Like, I'm gonna keep this one brief. I think it was a mistake for the Dogs to lose their first match, uh, and I didn't know it was a tornado. I thought it was like a traditional trios match
I
because
didn't
my
know it was
I
tornado until like the day before. I was like, oh shit, that would have been nice to know for our predictions, Tony.
yeah, like because like your eyes are like trained to look up at the top to like it's not pulling my eyes is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But like it was fun. I thought it was really fun. There was a lot of great stuff in it. They all work well together. Like I knew that they would. Um, and I love like OC like buying time for Roddy to get his breath by just by just getting beat up and doing little kicks, so that way he could buy time for Roddy to come in with the knees. It's so great.
Freaking Roddy man was going crazy mode in this match. I was just like, watching Roddy go ham live in person is completely different than watching him go ham at home because like, oh, those knee strikes were beautiful. Also, watching Gabe Kidd get tied up underneath the stage only for him to watch his team lose from the front of the stage was hilarious to watch. But we are not done with these three because it seems that Orange, Orange and Roddy are now my divorced dads, and nobody can tell me otherwise. These are the dads that we always wanted, like honestly, and they seem to be on good terms. And now it's just like, please, Now, obviously, we're waiting for Kyle to come back, but I was just like, Orange and Roddy can be my dads. They can be our dads of AEW, and I'm here for it. But we're not done with these 6 because this Wednesday, again, Darby is about to have a coffin match with Gabe Kidd on Wednesday. I'm like, damn. I was like, just straight out the gate. It's like, okay, we going. What's next? Coffin match. I'm like, damn. So that's this Wednesday, as well as Will Ospreay's return match against Blake Christian, now having been newly signed to AEW as well, full time, which we love that for Mr. Blake Christian. That match is gonna be good. Will Ospreay is about to fuck a kid up. He's gonna fuck Blake Christian up because Ospreay is mad. He wants Moxley, and he will. I can already tell. Vengeful Ospreay is gonna be really fun to watch. But this
That
was
match
a
is going to
really
be all the flips.
for
All the
reals,
flips.
all the flips. But back to this match to kind of finish us out. This was really, really fun. This was a fun match. I don't think it should have been semi-main event, but you know what? I still thought this was a good time. All right, Benny, brace yourself because 45 mother tucking minutes. This match went long, but it did not feel long. So I'm gonna come back to this picture, but I hold up before I even do this because I don't want people coming after us, right? So viewer discretion is advised. The following images you are about to see can be graphic in nature and shows you how much that MJF and Hangman really did fuck each other up this match. So please, viewer discretion advised, because what you're about to see may not to be good for you if you are squeamish, do not like blood, and hardcore violence. You have been warned, so please, if you are watching this live, you may come back to us when we come back to the graphic. Or if you're watching this on the edited version, you may fast forward a couple minutes and then you'll be good. So, viewer discretion is advised. All right, Benny, with that out of the way, I'm just going to show these pictures. We're just going to take it in and then we're going to come back to this picture right here and we're going to talk about it. So, here's the first couple of sets. Like, take it in, just take a look at all the craziness that was this part, like these first couple of pictures. Then we get to this one's right here. And discuss.
Woo wee!
They fucked each other up, Benny. They fucked each other up this match. Oh my god.
You know, when when Hangman came out and he had that the final duels theme from the good no, A Fistful of Dollars. Excuse me. Um, I was like, oh, Hangman and his layers. Hangman loves his layers. Like what was it? Wrestle Dream when he came out to the Red Dead Redemption 2, like Arthur's death scene song.
That was insane. I'm like, we got money, Tony. Let's go.
I know, right? And like MJF comes out with the funk tight song. Oh my god, I love it so much. Yeah, there was a lot of winks and nods at the wrestling for the wrestling fans tonight, and man, you know, sometimes I like to call there's some things in wrestling that I like to call the Wile E. Coyote effect,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which means that if you set it up, you're the one that's probably going to go through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Hangman in his last match with Swerve, the lights out match, put the needle through, uh, put the needle into Swerve's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he got it back. The Wile E. Coyote effect, you know? And this time it was worse because he actually got it through the cheek. It was squirting the syringe. Oh my god. I was like, I don't know how this is wrestling, but I understand that they're no, that's not how I want to say. Um, this is a different stroke for different folks, and it was pretty gross, but the most of it I was here for.
Well, let's break everything down that we saw, right?
Hmm.
So MJF getting the barbed wire to the mouth, looking like a puppet with the like creepy smiling as he's getting pulled by the there. Also, shout out to Hangman for giving Max a birthday card stapled to his whole chest, which was hilarious to watch. So that was funny. But then it got crazy because again, the barbed wire in the mouth for MJF. We had tables, we had barbed wire tables, we had light tubes, we had a dog collar match all of a sudden halfway through. I was just like, oh my god, we're really going there. We had them go off a table into some pyrotechnics, which was crazy. Um, Glass, which was crazy to watch, and then MJF sweeping away said glass was also hilarious. Um, and then the crowd decided to take it upon themselves to be the best crowd because then they was chanting at Max while he was doing this sweep forever. Los Angeles, you never disappoint me anytime wrestling is in the area, and y'all did the damn thing. But yeah, let's talk about how MJF wins this because after everything they put each other through, Hangman once again finds himself on the receiving end of being choked out by a chain because that is how he lost to Swerve back at Full Gear in Los Angeles, might I add, when he had a Texas death match with Swerve. So once again, the chain and death matches in Los Angeles do not bode well for the Hangman because he once again loses this one after he gets choked out. He falls to the floor. Shout out to the blood. Hangman hitting the camera on the way down and getting blood straight on the camera. Beautiful shot. That was fantastic. Good stuff. Um, Hangman gets choked out and he cannot answer the 10 count. And your winner and still AEW World Champion is MJF. So again, you talked about earlier the little subtle things when it comes to wrestling. The story things are my bit. Last time Hangman was in Los Angeles for a Texas death, he was also unsuccessful because he could not beat Swerve at Full Gear 2023. And once again, Los Angeles seems to be the kryptonite for Hangman because he cannot win a Texas death match in Southern California. So that means that Hangman cannot challenge for the AEW World Championship. So I'm like, oh shit, they actually are going to go with it, or at least for a little bit. Let's break this down, shall we? Because I don't think Hangman is not going to challenge this forever. I say like we'll see him come back for the title in like 2 and 3 years, but I think Hangman is going to be kind of pursuing other matters until then. So I don't think he's going to be not challenging for the title anymore at all. But I do think that we're not going to see Hangman come around this title for at least a year or two, maybe 3. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So Tony Khan had mentioned in the press conference as well afterwards. I don't really usually watch those, but like I caught a clip, and he said that like this is just Hangman's word. It's not like a binding contract or anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like he can go back on his word, which sort of deflates the Hangman character. But like there have been other instances where people have uh, made this stipulation, loses the title eventually down
Mm-hmm.
the line, and then that person comes back for the title. So like, say, uh, let's say Double or Nothing, Swerve comes for the title,
Mm-hmm.
beats MJF for the title. Now you have Hangman and Swerve for the title,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, there's just a possibility. You know, like I'm just saying that like I don't even think it's going to be that long before we see Hangman back in the title picture. You know,
100%. I agree with you there. But damn, what a Texas death match between these two. This was insane. And I am happy to see that Max finally got one over on Hangman, and he was able to beat Hangman with Hangman's like bread and butter, so to speak, because Hangman is pretty good with Texas death matches, but like I said, in Southern California and Los Angeles, that Hangman has not had the best of runs in Texas death matches in Southern California. So that Benny, that has been AEW Revolution. Damn, what a show! What a show! This is fantastic. So yeah, um, any final thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, all I was just gonna say was this was a fantastic night. I really liked the pace of the show. What was your match of the night?
Oh man, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like my go-to is the Texas Death Match because that match was insane. Um, but if I'm looking at the whole entire night, I'm gonna be honest, and I don't care if I'm biased for it. I have to go with Andrade and Bandito because yeah, I think Andrade and Bandito was probably my match of the night because again, this was just a match for these two to have, and there was nothing on the line, and they just fought like they were fighting for the championship. I was just like, damn, you guys, this is just a regular match. Imagine what it's gonna be like if there's a title on the line next time. Damn. Um, but yeah, I think I have to go with Andrade and Bandito. I think that's probably my match of the night, which is really hard because then I have like I'm looking at Moxley and Takeshita, Texas Death, the Trios Championship match. There was not a bad match on this show, honestly. I was not disappointed with anything that I saw. Well, maybe
Yeah,
except for Boom and Doom and Infantry, but like I'm glad they got that out of the way at the beginning, and then we got to see actual good wrestling for the rest of the night.
yeah, exactly. For me personally, I'd have to go with Young Bucks FTR.
That was
Um,
also a good one.
Even though it opened the show, technically it opened the show. It was like
Hmm.
the first show on the main card that didn't bleed over. But uh, this this tag team rivalry has really meant something to me personally.
Hmm.
To see them actually have a feud and have them deliver in the way that they did, kudos. And kudos to
Hmm.
everybody on this card. Like there was, as you said, there was no bad match. There wasn't even a low. like and like the dogs versus OC and the conglomerate army, I guess.
Hmm.
Like uh, uh, that match was perfectly slated right where it was, so that way you give people a little bit of a downer before like a 40-minute epic, you know. and
45 minutes, man. That Texas Death was crazy long, but it didn't feel like it.
no, and kudos to everybody.
Yeah, this was definitely now I like this is a hot start for the pay-per-view season for AEW. Like hot damn. Like just out the gate. And you know, you set up the next couple of pay-per-views with all the returns that happened in this show and everything that we're setting up. Like kudos to all the talent and Tony Khan, and what a fantastic show. And I am looking forward to Dynasty and Double or Nothing and the rest of the pay-per-views for AEW this year in 2026. So that's going to be it for us here at Elite Insight. This was a lot of fun, Benny. Once again, thank you for being here this evening. Um, this was really fun, and we are back to Dynamite and Collision breakdown starting next Tuesday, where Osprey's returning to the ring. We're getting a coffin match tomorrow between Darby and Gabe Kidd, and I'm just like, oh boy, it's gonna be crazy to see what else we get tomorrow in San Jose because now we're still in California for this one. So that's going to be it for us here at the Elite Insight. But don't touch that dial because we still got a lot of stuff happening this week. Tomorrow evening, we have our double header at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. The NXT crew will be here to break down this NXT episode, which is coming to us live from Texas, in which we have a triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship. match and a steel cage for the NXT Women's North American Championship. So that's going to be fun to talk about. And then later that evening at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern is our CMLL show, where I said I was going to do some cross pollination because Mystico is now 1/3 of the AEW Trios Championship. I'm very interested to see how this Friday goes because Sky Team, which is the Mystico's Trios team of him, Mascara Dorada, and Neon, will be defending their CMLL Trios championships against the Death Riders. So, and it's not just the motley crew of Wheeler and like the weird mix-up. No, no, no. This is serious because it is Mystico, Mascara Dorada, and Neon defending the Trios championships against Wheeler, Daniel Garcia, and John Moxley is making his debut in Arena Mexico. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, I smell a plot. So we'll see how that goes. And then in the main event, Claudio's defending the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship against Echiseto. So that should be a fun time. And that's all going down this Friday. And then we're talking about all the stuff that happened this past week, which is also very good. Then Thursday, we go from crazy high flying action wrestling to more teehees and ha-has because there's Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, sorry. It is our breakdown of Mystery Wrestling 22, where guys, it got crazy. We had a sing-off, we had a food fight, and we had a pretty good main event where we have a new Mystery Wrestling champion, y'all. And so we're going to talk about that on Thursday. And then Friday, we wrap things up with our TNA post show. So I got a lot of fun stuff coming up this week. But we got to get up on out of here. So from all of us at BC WrestlePod to you at home, remember, take care. And I hit the button by accident. So we got to do that again. So from all of us here at BC WrestlePod, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay iconic, and more important than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We'll catch you tomorrow for NXT and CMLL. But until then, sayonara, adios, and until next time, peace.